Hello, this is a magnetic pulsar unit. I got this from Zapper Barney, actually. I bid on it on eBay, and he was actually selling it cheap. I forgot what I paid for it, maybe 125, because the battery compartment had a little corrosion on it. He cleaned it out very good. It works fine. Now, the one thing I don't like about these units, though, is that the batteries go pretty quick after using them. So what I did was I tried rechargeable batteries, but it takes 4 AA batteries in this compartment, which I have taped over right now, and you can see there's 2 wires coming out of it. Besides, these are the 2 wires for the paddle, right? The magnetic paddle. Then I have 2 other wires, a black and a red one, coming out of the battery compartment. I'll tell you why I did that. If you use 4 rechargeable AA batteries in this, you're not getting 6 volts because rechargeable batteries are sold in increments of 1.2 volts. So if you're using AA rechargeable batteries, you're getting less than 6 volts. You're getting 1.2, 1.2, 2.4. You're getting 4.8 volts out of this thing, not the 6, because you're actually getting 3/10 less voltage per battery. That's just how they are. They're all like that. So like rechargeables go in 1.2 volt increments. Like a 9 volt is typically 8.4 volts. 1.2, that goes to 2.4, then 3.6, 4.8, 6.60, 7.2, 8.4. That's why a lot of times rechargeables don't seem to last as long. Now in this thing, 4.8 volts doesn't work right. And if you're using regular AA batteries, it wears out. So what I did, since it's 4 1.5 volt batteries, that's a total of 6 volts. Well, guess what? If you take a couple alligator clips and have them very firmly attached deep in here to the where the batteries are attached, right? It's to the actual clips where the batteries go to, and they're on there very solid. And I put the battery compartment over it, and I taped over it with some heavy tape. And so you have the red I use for the positive. So I just put it on a regular lantern battery. And that's it. So when you turn this unit on, this is actually just a flash unit. This is actually from the Beck protocol. This is the magnetic pulsar. Now you could buy one from Soda for $400, but I use this one. But I found a way to use this one where it's pretty cool. It works pretty fine. So if you turn it on, you can see how fast it charged up. And if you go press the button, you know it'll flash to indicate that you are. That's the flash right there. So it actually seems to recycle about every 3 to 5 seconds. It works pretty good. So you use the paddle and you pulse over your body with it. And this cheap unit will work about as well as the magnetic pulsar from Soda Instruments when you're using this battery. Now you can get even fancier with this and use a 6 volt lawn garden tractor battery, a pretty big one. But to tell you the truth, even these little batteries like this, these little lantern batteries, I've done this even with the regular AA batteries that were non-rechargeable, I recharge them. You could do it maybe a couple times. You can't do it hundreds of times, and you got to be careful that you don't overcharge them because they could blow up. But you can actually take an old car charger like this that has a 6 volt setting on it and recharge this lantern battery, check it with the voltmeter, and get a lot more life out of it. But as it is, this battery will last much, much, much longer than using 4 AA batteries, and it's cheaper. And this unit recycles a hell of a lot quicker. So, you notice the red light comes right back on again after I snapped it, So, that's a solution to this because, you can actually get a rechargeable like this and recharge it hundreds of times, and it'll be a true 6 volts. If you're using 4 AA batteries in this unit that are rechargeables, you're getting 1.2 volts each. It's 4.8 volts. It doesn't matter when you're using 1 or 2, but when you're using 4 of them, it seems like it makes too much of a difference. 4.8 volts just isn't cutting it to give you a fast enough cycle time to use this thing. So that's just one thing I'm saying. You can actually get a cheap one of these, and that's why I never really bought the Soda Instruments one, because I only use this occasionally. Now, one thing I also want to point out that's not commonly known, They say to use this in conjunction with the blood purification thing, and hopefully I'm not losing people. I have other videos on this, but the blood pulsar that goes on the wrist, they go on the wrist to basically try to, what it does, it's actually a patented current that causes pathogens, microbes, viri, bacteria, and fungi not to be able to reinfect other cells. That's really how it works. It's not really something that kills microbes per se. It's something that keeps them from infecting new healthy cells. And if they don't infect healthy cells, they can't live. Now, if you're using, what normally happens is that you'll use this in conjunction with that, because blood flow in the lymph system is very low, and this actually keeps the blood flow in the lymph, actually keeps the lymph fluid moving in and out by pulsing electricity, right? Well, pulsing actually magnetic current, excuse me. But if you are using the blood purification device while you're working out and doing cardio, this actually becomes a lot less important, because you are moving your blood around in your body many, many, many times more than if you're sitting, resting, or sleeping. So that's why I don't really use this too much. But I have one, and I found a way that I think I want to share here, is that I just use this 6-volt lantern battery, and I've recharged batteries like this. You just have to be careful. Don't put it on too long, and check the voltage. Make sure that when the voltage gets up where it belongs again, you take the charger off and you don't overcharge it. You can actually recharge these a couple times. But also, if you want to go a little bit bigger, you can get like a battery, pretty good sized battery about this big, lawn tractor battery that you can recharge at 6 volts. Hook it up with the alligator clips, and this thing will recycle like very quickly. And you just got to press it in hard enough. But that's one thing that I found a fantastic advantage to, and it's a cheap unit. You're just paying, like, I think I paid $125 for this thing. And so the Instruments unit is $400. It's the $400 unit is much better, but for occasional use, this is perfect. This is perfect, and no problem with changing batteries all the time, or even having a problem where if you leave the batteries in here, it gets corroded, because you just unclip this, and that's all you have to do. So this is a slick little idea. And the way I clip these on down here, deep in here, I use needle nose pliers to hold open the alligator clips when I had pushed them in there. And they got on there the ends where the positive is and the negative is very securely. They're on there very tightly. Then I have the battery compartment closed up against the wires, and it's taped shut. So actually, you really can't even pull these out of here. They're in there pretty solid, even though they're just clipped on. And this actually alleviates the problem of using batteries in this, because that's the one drawback. You had to keep replacing batteries, and rechargeable batteries weren't up to snuff. But this lantern battery lasts forever, and you can get rechargeable lantern batteries, or even use a lawn tractor battery for it. And you're paying like, I think the lawn tractor battery is like $25. That thing would last you forever and a day. Really, it would. So you'd have the whole unit for $150 versus $400. For occasional use, this thing is perfect.